Buddy, so you know how this works. Basically, I go live for free to answer questions, but there's some basic rules. A, we go over general information, so I don't know your whole claim, so I can't give you perfect legal advice. Also, very important, use a fake name throughout this process. Do not question stack. You get 1 or 2 questions, 5 to 7 minutes, and remember, have your legal question ready up front. No story mode. We've got the first person on the line already. Good sir, what is your legal question? Go ahead.
Yes. Hello, sir. I was curious, 62, and when I hit 67, I heard you say in one video that disability stops and Social Security takes over. Would the amount that I would be getting paid at the time I turned 67, would that change at all, or it's just a technical thing?
No, I mean, so sometimes it can change, but almost always it's a situation where you're getting the same amount for your SSDI benefits as your transition into FRA full retirement age from that 66 and so many months to 67-ish area. So bottom line is you should get
Right.
around a similar check that is equivalent amount. However, there are things that change that, but for the most part, those are very, very rare situations.
Okay, and with all the things that you've been talking about recently, what is the actual percentage of chance that if there is a glitch in the system, that payment 1 month might be missed? Would I be just Joe Miller that lives on Maple Street, or and a 1 in a million chance, or is it like a whole block of 1,000 people from this town or that city? How does something like that? How will we be? I just don't want to dwell on it every month that I'm going to be that one victim. Is is it just random? Is it a very low percentage?
So here's the basic thing that you have to kind of understand about it. The likelihood that an error will occur is unknown because we don't know what systems are going to have enough people to actually work them. The computers and servers are massive to go ahead and process all the Social Security benefits, and the operating systems don't all talk to each other to fix errors in codes and kind of clean the system. So the bottom line that we run into is at some point there's going to be a break in the chain. Now, are there going to be massive mainframes worth of people not getting benefits? I supremely doubt it. Are there going to be some people here and there who get underpayments, overpayments, no payments, late payments? Yeah, we don't know a percentage, but we know that they're going to have some trouble. Now, here's what the halo effect comparison is. We know Elon is a massive, massive coder with a lot of massive, massive coders backing him. I know the Democrats are currently saying that Elon is not a coder, that he's never built anything in his life, yada, yada. That's not true. Just go look at the history of him. He has coded many programs. In fact, his earliest programs were in companies that he was selling to that you and I use every single day. So the bottom line is if it is possible for Elon to hyper automate the programs with Frank Bisignato using banking system technology with Elon's ability to hyper automate, use AI, etc. And they got 23 AI programs already. They could pull it off where nobody really gets a screwed up benefit. But these massive changes inside the SSA they've never been done like this before. So to be fair, we just don't know if Elon's as good as he thinks he is. We hope he is. We just don't know if this thing's going to come
Right.
out looking rosy at the end of the day.
Okay. And real quick, if I can, for just 30 seconds, just for closure for myself, everything went well with my case, and I had an appeal done by a law firm. But never once was anytime I had a question to call that law firm, I was always rerouted to a case handler, which that person was never able to answer legal questions for me. And I don't understand, when you hire a law firm, is that the standard operating procedure, that you can't talk to a lawyer until you're disapproved again and it has to go before a judge? Is that normal, or?
So basically, what you're asking me is to divulge secrets about Social Security law firms, which I shouldn't do, but I'm gonna.
Okay, I didn't.
So, all right, here's the deal. I do not run my law firm the best possible way to make money. My staff members get pissed at me every single year that we look at bonuses because we don't make enough because we spend far too much per actual client. That is not the proper
Right.
way to run a law firm, because what happens is you don't make enough per client and you're not focusing on doing as many claims as possible. When a law firm mass advertises, what they do is they hire a bunch of people for as cheap as possible to just look at the claim and make sure the claim gets appealed. And, if it takes a while, it takes a while. That adds to the potential of the attorney getting the most possible fee at the end if it's won. We don't do it that way. We have a lot of claims where we win them, and we only get $1,000, $3,000, $4,000, etc. These other law firms,
Okay. I thought it was a standard like 25% or so for
oh, it
everybody.
is.
I didn't
It,
know.
it is. But
Okay.
remember, the amount of months you wait of 25% that builds up, if the lawyer gets you found disabled faster with expedited options under the I-2S
Right, then you
140.
get less. Right.
Right. Which means I get more
Okay. All
5-star
right.
reviews.
And
Yeah.
I'm computer illiterate, and
Yeah.
I don't. How do I make a donation? I watch you through a TV set on Roku. Do I have to get on a laptop on your YouTube page to make donations? How does that work?
So
I'm sorry.
basically, if you want to make a donation, the best one is if you just search my name and student loans. There's a website specifically for it. That helps me kind of pay my student loans, which are more than the average Social Security amount per month paid by people. So, it's just that always helps me out. You don't have to make a donation. I don't want to push you in any way or say you want.
No. I'm grateful for all you do. I hear people on, through the videos that you acknowledge that, make donations, and I just didn't know physically how to do that.
Well, yeah. So you just Google my name and student loans and it'll pop right up. But one thing I want you to think about too, when it comes to your situation, when you are approved, what's really, really crucial and important is that you find out what
Mhm.
type of approval you have, because that dictates how you can go ahead and protect your benefits going forward so that you don't go ahead and violate the 8-step sequential process. So, just as a side note, if you could write down type of approvals and also 8-step sequential process, those are two things you really want to learn about so that you can protect your benefits from future CDRs in the future.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, sir.
Absolutely good, sir. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Perfect. We're going to go ahead and take the next caller. Here we go. Speaker is on. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Genesis.
Mhm.
I received SSI disability benefits around 2014.
Okay.
I got a permit to carry in 2020.
Mhm.
Will I get red flagged or will that end my benefit?
No, they tried to pass a thing where if you have a listing level criteria for mental impairment, that you wouldn't be allowed to get a firearm, but that never actually went through. So technically, you are allowed to own a firearm as a disabled person, even if you are a listing level individual for some of these mental impairments. Now, there are other agencies that might have an issue with that if you're, mentally unsound, yada yada, at listing level criteria, which is, you to put it in, and there's no way to perfectly put it, but to put it in like practical application sense terms, like, every 3 months you're in a sanatorium for like, 3 to 4 days, and then basically they recognize that it's not getting better. So, but if that's not your gig, then you should be okay. And honestly, I've been fighting to have more and more rights given to disabled people when it comes to basically self-defense weaponry, because at the end of the day, obviously, disabled people, elderly people, they have a harder time running away. So the castle doctrine, versus the where you're standing doctrine, stand your ground, things like that. People who are disabled, who are retired, who are elderly, they need those rights even more than other people, and they need even better rights. So, no, in and of itself, you should be okay. And happy shooting, happy target practice. And I hope you in the future continue to grow your skills. Yeah.
Okay, yes, because I have a back issue. So, mine is not mental health. So
Sure.
I
Yeah.
was worried about that. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, ma'am. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. Okay.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.
So remember, when it comes to purchasing one of those, you want it to be either like full steel, full aluminum, stuff like that, because the carbon fibery kind of ones, they're too light and they kick and they hurt your back and they hurt your shoulder and they hurt your hands. So the heavier the gun, the firearm, the better off it is for people with back issues. Here we go. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal? Yeah, go ahead.
Hi there.
Howdy, howdy. Go ahead.
I wasn't sure I really had you. I'm sorry. I have a quick question. I have the Social Security Administration suddenly taking what they call overpayments out of my check with no letter, no notification of any kind whatsoever.
Okay.
And it's not from work or anything. So when I call and they see that they sent me no notification and they keep taking the money out, it was obviously their fault. I'm just wondering what form you think I should fill out, or should I go down there? I live in a pretty small town in northern Arizona, so our office is close by and usually not super busy. So I'm not sure what to do about that.
Okay.
I would think that when I called, she saw there was no notice, that she would have stopped that right away. But
so the forms you're going to need are an SSA 632, which is a waiver request form, reduces the overpayment or waives it, and also an SSA 795, which explains your reasoning as to why they should not be essentially giving you an overpayment. So, and we don't have enough time to go through the full thing, on here, but can you give me a quick summary as to why you believe the overpayment that they've placed on your account is incorrect?
The only thing I can think of is they had an original overpayment online that I saw that was for $65,000 and some change, but at that point it doesn't matter what the change is, right? So I'm like, whoa. So then they must have done a review of my account or something, because then they put a whole bunch of money in, they deposited in my account with, again, no notice or anything. So when I called about that, they said, they must have done a review of your account. A bunch of money they owed you, they didn't pay you, which I always thought was kind of going on, but didn't know how to call and ask for them to do a review. So then I think two of those, because I was also on emergency payment because of the $65,000 overpayment, they're like, we screwed up. We'll put you back on right away. And they only had to give me two of those before they started the regular payment again. And I think those two payments were not included in their review when they put all that money in a couple different times, because I have a dependent also that gets paid from them for my disability.
Okay.
Because she's underage, 15. So I think from my calculations, what I added up, that is the amount of, they double paid that. So whoever didn't realize I was getting the emergency payments, when they, went through the review, added those payments in too that they didn't think I was receiving. That's the only thing I can think of.
Okay. All right.
But I don't get the most intelligent person when I call, so I had to do that myself and go, they think those two payments, but it's still their fault, not mine, right? I mean, I did nothing.
You got to keep in mind
too,
a lot of the field office people are new, so they don't really know how it works. And then on top of that, there's lanes of accounts. So to know like a mistake and how to fix it, that's a toughie for a lot of them. But write it up, get it correct. 795, fill out the 632, get them submitted into the fax. Yeah. Or you could go ahead and certify the return receipt, send it off to the local FO, the field office.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you so much, Walter. I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. You have a wonderful, wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Perfect. We're going to take the next call. Hey, this is Attorney Walter Hnot, Disability Resolution PA. What is your legal question? And remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Joy. I've been on SSI for 7 years, and they changed me to retirement. They were right on that. They sent me a letter and everything.
Right at 62.
We're going to get all of it.
Yeah.
Yep, right at, before. I'm not 62 till Sunday, so.
Okay.
But they sent me a letter saying, I've been pretty much disabled a lot of my life because of genetic stuff first, but I was injured on the job. So when they take me, they told me that my retirement would be $496 6, I believe.
Mhm.
And then in the interview, they told me the rest would be made up in the SSI.
Well, so
I understand this.
yeah. Go ahead.
They sent me a paper for only the 496. They never said anything about the difference of SSI. Does that just automatically happen?
Yeah. So the thing is, they don't want people receiving less than $1,000 around there if they're on, basically retirement. So they bolster it with SSI benefits to get you out of the poverty setting. Of course, you're still in the poverty setting because let's call it like it is. $1,000 a month ain't going to work in America. So, realistic situation is yes, they will get you set up with SSI and retirement. Yes, their systems are set up to recognize this and not fully automate the system, but get it pretty close. Bottom line is, yes, you'll be receiving those. You should be good to go. Just remember the SSI benefits you receive, you're still going to have poverty restrictions on you. For the amount of SSI benefits you receive, whereas the retirement benefits, you won't have those same poverty restrictions on you.
So basically, if I do anything that earns any money, they're going to take $1 for every 2.
Yeah.
Or will that just throw me completely out of the SSI?
No. They still same gig, same rules, same cha-cha-cha. $2,000 limitation. SGA still exists, and then of course you got the over $85 every $2 you earn, they take away a buckaroo.
Oh, okay. All
Perfect.
right. I appreciate that because I'm just like, I get this letter and I'm like, hey, that is not what we discussed.
Yeah. No, and remember too, it's 2 different programs now, so you have to get 2 different letters to go ahead and explain it. I don't know why they don't slim it down to 1, but they do 2 letters for that one.
Yeah, they never sent me the second letter. And then I got other letters, of course, that, being reaction letters that came in. But I went in to ask them, and then they gave me the same letter they sent me. And I'm like, wait, this has nothing to do with what I asked you.
Yeah. So, well.
So, okay. I appreciate your time, sir. I really do, because now I can not freak out so much.
Absolutely. You have a wonderful, wonderful night, okay?
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Perfect. We're going to wait for the next caller. I'm taking a mini break. I'm actually losing my voice. I know I'm holding it together. There's some glue just holding this whole thing together. A little bit of tea with a lot of caffeine. But I am so tired. Let me see what we got over here. We're at 17 minutes. Got about another 14 minutes to go. Next caller. Here we go. All right. Speaker is on. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Oh, yes. My name is Lisa, and I'm calling about a request for a review of a hearing on a decision or order, the HA 520 form.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it for my son. So initially, he didn't graduate from high school when he was 18. He needed more time to complete school. He's autistic. He has social anxiety disorder. He has severe depression. He struggles with hygiene issues, things like that. So, they denied him and said that, he wasn't basically disabled enough. So I'm filing a review hearing, and I'm going to try and grab some other records from, it was family counseling that we were all going to. So they said they couldn't get the records because it wasn't in my son's name, we'll say Albert. So it was in another son's name, we'll say Edward. So I'm going to go and get those records and send them to them. But I just was wondering, is there anything else I should do? Should this be the right thing? Should I be doing the HA 520 or should I be doing something else?
You know what? My brain kind of crapped out there in the very beginning. Give me a quick little mini summary again. My apologies. I kind of, sometimes it happens after 1 a.m., but go ahead one more time. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I tried to.
No, you're good. It's me. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
This was a person that was in high school, so they were still getting the disability from when they was a child.
Okay.
So, after that, they redetermined. Mm-hmm. They're saying that he's not quite disabled enough, meeting the guidelines for a child.
Sure.
So that's what happened. I'm trying to fight that. Am I going about it the right way?
Well, basically, they're going through, a full review to see if he fits onto adult standard for benefits. So, you have to look at what elements are going to be applicable. So, remember, the child-based listings are now transferring to the adult-based listings, and they're now adding additional elements to the review, which is could he do work in the national economy? So, all right, what are the top 5 impairments of the child, and what are the types? Well, let's start with that. What are the top 5 impairments of the child?
The social anxiety disorder, the extreme depression, the autistic, and he had lead poisoning,
Okay.
so he had the issues with that. He's also diabetic. He has high cholesterol.
Hmm.
He has obesity.
Hmm. Okay.
Um,
So walk me through basically when it comes to, essentially what's going on with the mental impairments. When was the last time he was inpatient for the mental impairments in a behavioral institute, a sanatorium, something like that?
um, he refused to go, but I was able to get him to go back into counseling. That's the records I was trying to get, but then the counselor left employment there, so he didn't want to go back into another counseling. So he wasn't ever institutionalized. He would just shut down for days at a time and be in his basement and refuse to do anything. Like, so just not able to do anything for days at a time.
So basically, just to kind of
But
clarify, he lives in a bubble, and as a result of the bubble, he's kind of been able to just kind of, not get medical treatment, and there's no evidence that shows severity of impairment.
um, well, if I can get him back to this, he is going to have an appointment with another therapist that he said he was comfortable with. So we're going to start that up, and he said he would comply with that. And I did try to tell him how this would be important for us being able to take care of his basic needs. So I don't know how long that is, but then the other records that we couldn't get. So I'm going to try and get those tomorrow in my hands so that I could send to them. I also reached out because I'm going to try and get the representation I did try and get, but nobody was really interested in representing us. That's the other thing. Because when you're already getting the benefit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're already getting something. So that's why I was trying to figure out what all should I be doing. Should I have tried something else? Should I have done that HA 520, or maybe there's something else I should be doing?
So
Because they didn't say there was a stop benefit
right.
yet, but I know that's coming.
So some of the things to kind of keep in mind is that they usually won't remove the benefits until you go in front of the administrative law judge, and the administrative law judge, rules against the child. Once you've opted in, it's hard finding an attorney because there's no way for the realistically get paid properly from the SSA because the bottom line is that,
Right.
just being fair, there's the attorney can't get paid unless they do a fee petition, and it takes years for those fee petitions. The next thing to kind of keep in mind is that as you go through this process, there's all types of evidence that basically, you need to start collecting for those types of mental impairments. There's certain types of phrases that the child needs to state to the doctors, both the SSA doctors and essentially, basically the doctors that you're providing, private doctors that he's going to. What I would recommend with this situation is because you're never going to be able to get an attorney to go ahead and work on the claim. My suggestion would be to go ahead and basically do one of those private hours with the little mini contract that's in the bio area. The reason why is I can kind of give you the types of evidence that he would need to prove his claim. Now, at the end of the day, I know, in these situations, the mom is always pushing him to do this, this, and that. Is this child capable of taking direction and delivering on taking that direction?
Well, I will say this: when we went to the hearing that we just had, not
Mhm.
even a month ago, the person that does the jobs portion of it, he agreed and said with the evidence that we presented at that time that there was no job in the national economy that he could do.
Okay.
So that's a part of the official record. So I can't remember what the work person is called, but I know you know who I'm talking about.
So he's
The
already had a
person of record
hearing.
for that.
Yeah, so that's a vocational
Right.
expert. Oh, if he's already had the hearing,
Yeah.
and did the judge
Mhm.
say to you, "Hey, go find an attorney," or is this a situation where, you're just trying to find one after the fact?
The judge did send out paperwork to me about trying to find an attorney and postponed it to give me time to find one. When the hearing came back up and she asked me about representation this time, I told her I reached out to representation and they just weren't interested in taking this case because I explained to her there would be no way, they were upfront with me, how would they get paid? And it's not, or they said this was something they used to do and they don't handle these types of cases anymore. And so I didn't have representation. So I let her know it wasn't that I was trying to play around. When you sent me out the list of, lawyers and things, nobody was interested. Like, I tried to reach out to some people again. Yeah. And we'll see what happens about that when they call me back. But I'm expecting I'll get the same answer. So the vocational person already said that, no, there's no job in the economy that he could do. Okay, so I should set up, so I need to put some money aside. All right. So I'll reach out to you and do that.
Real quick, actually, so let me get a few of these real quick. So did the judge tell you at the beginning, so when you received the paperwork, was the paperwork a couple of months or a month before the hearing talking about an attorney, or did the judge nod at you and say, you should consider getting an attorney during essentially, basically the hearing?
Okay, so when she called me months back, like the middle part of the end of last year, and she said, you don't have representation, and I said, I would like to stop the proceedings, and could you give me an extension so I could seek legal advice? And she said, yeah, I'll send you out the paperwork with the list of lawyers, and then I'll reschedule the hearing, which was the hearing I had at the end of February. So like maybe November, October, something like that of last year. And then she gave me an extension to give me time to find the representation. And then that's when we went back to court. And I did reach out to people, and they just was like, no, we don't do that anymore. Or they just called me back and said, no, we're not, they told me to go over the thing. Like, no, we don't do that anymore. Or, well, because he's already receiving the benefit, if it was a person that wasn't, then we'd be willing to take the case. But because of that, no.
So
does that make sense?
You've already had the hearing. Vocational expert has already given testimony. Did the judge request that the claimant, the son, the child, who's now an adult, over 18, did the judge request that the individual be sent to a current CE appointment, a medical expert on behalf of the SSA?
That was done before we had the one that she postponed for the second one to get me, but not this time, like not after they made this ruling. No, they didn't say that.
Wait, so how long ago was he at their doctor? Yeah.
Like the middle part of last year, middle end part of last year. Like maybe around July, something like that, August.
All right, so something.
The doctors did the ones that they want you to go to.
So basically, just to understand this, the judge doesn't like something in the file, so she wanted you to get an attorney. You couldn't find one because the judge knows if the attorney can't get paid, they're not going to want to work on the claim. And now basically the judge is trying to make it happen and come together. So at this point, you can't really, you've had the hearing. So submitting additional evidence for this particular hearing is not a likelihood option. So you're really looking for an attorney to potentially take the claim to appeals counsel if you get a denial. I would wait before you do anything for the judge's decision, and then kind of go from there. The bottom line, though, with this particular situation is, considering all of this, you've already had your hearing. Vocational expert already gave testimony. You've already been to a CE doctor on behalf of the OHO hearing office. So now you just kind of wait for essentially the judge to, basically make a decision. So when was the hearing? How long ago was it?
It was like the 27th of February, just recently.
Okay, so bottom line is, so 3 to 4 months. So, essentially in 2.5 to 3.5 months, you're going to get a decision at this point. So my recommendation to you is get the decision. And then if you need one, start searching for a disability attorney for appeals counsel to submit a brief to them on grounds.
Oh, Well, I did the decision I got was partially unfavorable.
Oh, you already got a decision. You already got the
That's
decision.
why I'm appealing it.
Oh,
I'm appealing the decision.
okay. Sorry,
That's
I
what the
missed that.
HA box. I'm sorry, I didn't explain well. I was
No, you're
trying
fine.
to because I have to follow
Yeah.
my mind. I
No,
got
you're
the
fine.
decision.
So in that case, then,
No,
yeah.
the decision unfavorable. Yeah, the decision was unfavorable.
Okay, so if it's
Okay, fine.
unfavorable, then yeah, basically you have to send me a copy of the denial letter, and then I'll take a look at it, see if there's grounds for appeals counsel review option. And if there's grounds, then it gets appealed essentially, to the next level, which is the final highest level of the SSA. If the child gets denial from there, then you look at appeal options to federal district court, then circuit court, then Supreme Court. But send me over the denial brief via email, the info@disabilityresolution.com. I'll take a look at it. I'll also talk to some other attorneys about what their thoughts are for the potential appeal, and then basically rock and roll forward and kind of go from there. But yeah, if he's already got an unfavorable, then at that point, and that was a quick unfavorable, which means there's a real problem inside the claim. So send it over to me. I'll take a look at it, and then we'll go from there. Yeah.
Yeah, yep. The date of this unfavorable, it's February the 25th. That's the date.
Yeah, so that's real. That was a quick turnaround decision. There's something technically wrong with the claim for the judge to make a decision that fast.
All right. All right, and you would want just all of these pages, anything. I'm trying to make sure there's no blank page.
Yeah, I would just need the full denial brief, front to back kind of gig, and once I have that, I can take a look at things and kind of go from there.
Okay. Would you prefer this to be scanned into a PDF and then just attach it?
Yeah. If you just shoot it
Yeah,
over, that's fine. Yeah. Just make sure the computer
And I
you're
should
sending it
attach
from.
it with the thing.
Yeah, just make
Okay,
sure the
And I should
computer.
attach that with the payment thing. So, like, write a thing
Oh.
with with our real names, the fake ones, and this, and
Oh, you don't have to pay me
So
the
when I
hour
fix
for
it-
this. This is just me to review the claim to see if I can take it to appeals counsel for essentially, an appeal. So bottom line is you don't have to pay me for that. You just have to send me the PDF, and I'll see if I can represent him going into appeals counsel.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll have to. I can't. I'm going to need one of my other children to help me. I'll do it though. I'll have it done like in a day.
Perfect. And
It
just
shouldn't take me long.
keep in mind they are going to pull the benefits at this point. So just keep in mind that check is not going to be coming in. So just be prepared for that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It didn't say that anywhere here in the letter because it said
It's
you had
gonna-
60 days from the date of this letter to appeal.
Yeah. No, trust me, they're going to pull the benefits at this point.
Oh, okay.
hmm
They should make that more clear.
They should make a lot of stuff more clear. Trust me, they got in trouble with that. The lack of specificity and lack of notice, those were two major things they get in trouble for.
Okay, I understand. Wow. Because I don't understand why it's the thing that says that you won't. It should just say you won't get the next month's benefit.
Mhm.
Like, which is fine because then I know I need to figure out what I'm doing.
Right.
All right. Okay.
Perfect.
Right. Thank you so much, Walter.
Absolutely. You have a wonderful, wonderful night, okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Howdy, guys. So I'm falling asleep. So the thing is this, I will take more phone calls on Monday. I just keep in mind my brain is starting to shut off, which means I have to go to bed. I will catch you all a little bit later. Have an absolutely wonderful night. Please remember, if I helped you, to go to like and subscribe. And also please go over to Google and type in Disability Resolution or Disability Resolution Florida and throw some stars up there. I always appreciate waking up to those. I will catch you a little bit later. You have an absolutely wonderful day, and we will go from there. Attorney Walter Hnot, I'm falling asleep, and we will catch up later. Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.